Okay. I think we're live. The red bar's okay. I think we're live now. Hello, folks. I'm not going to start talking about too much yet, just because it looks like no one's here. So I'll probably blab about something nonsensical. Maybe I'll talk about watermelon for a few seconds, like they suggested. I might. Oh, shoot! I forgot water. Let me go get that real quick. Okie dokie. I shall be right back as soon as I grab water. Okie dokie. Here I am. Okay. Alright, I'm back. Looks like no one's here yet. That's okay. These. Do I ever do live streams scheduled? I gotta get better at that. Well, it looks like the basement's internet is a lot better than I gave it credit for. So it's very possible that I could be able to use this format in the basement if I ever can't do it in my room. So this vacation that's coming up, it'll be August 3rd through 7th, and well, I don't really want to spoil it until at least one person gets here. So I got to figure out how to waste my time and wait for someone to get here so I'm not just talking to myself. So I guess I can show off this candle. I got this from my friend's mother, who I guess started designing candles, and honestly it's been about a year and she kind of forgot to give it to me until now, so that's great. Then again, I just realized that today is a Saturday, so maybe people won't want to come. Oh well. I guess I can always make it a replay if I have to. That's the thing about streamers is sometimes you just got to keep doing it even if no one shows up, just so that you can say that you tried. Like maybe you won't have the perfect audience right away, but you can build up to it over time. I remember when I first started out with this YouTube channel, it was January 1st, 2013 was when I uploaded my very first video, The Great Embrace. And that had I think at most it had like 20 views at first, mainly because I got the word out manually. I would say, like, hey, I finally made a YouTube video and it's the song that I wrote. But that didn't exactly rake in the subscribers. I don't think I got my first subscriber until around 2014, 2015, when I was helping out with my friend's youth group. And as like a treat to the kids, she gave me permission to play my song to I believe it was middle schoolers that I was helping to teach. And I said, like, hey, I have YouTube channels if you want to listen to this song again. And I don't know if any of them actually went through with it, obviously, because I didn't keep track of their names or faces. But I do remember, well, remember is a loose term, more like YouTube's analytics just told me. My very first subscriber was Caitlin Horndash. And I don't know if she was one of those kids or not that's now like grown up, but I kind of sort of feel like the name Caitlin is familiar. And I don't know if that's just a coincidence or not, because I do have people named Caitlin that I know, but I'm pretty sure there was a girl named Caitlin back then. I don't know, but that would be super cool if someone from a random middle school chaperoning event just happened to remember me. Yeah, the early days of my YouTube channel were interesting. Like, I wanted to upload so much back then because I intended my channel to be more of like an archive of the greatest moments of, what I was writing about and what I experienced at conferences. And it just ended up being too hard to manage my uploader cable. Like back then, I had like a whole bunch of videos on my camera that I was going to share with you on YouTube, and some of them are just gone because that camera stopped working and I wasn't able to upload anything from it. I don't even think I still have that camera. If I do, like, man, I'd love to see some of that old stuff. But like, I had a half day mini retreat that was filmed and it had songs on it. At least one of the songs survived. At least Praise You from My Broken Heart was one of the songs that survived the purge. But apart from that, like, I had so many speeches prepared, and I, had another song that I had prepared, and it was just, I'm honestly amazed that I had the courage to be able to do that half day retreat in the first place. I guess back then I was a little bit more ambitious than I am now. Like back then I had desires to be a youth minister. And so I went to the seminary to take certification classes so that it could become a full-time job of mine. Of course, the problem ended up being that I how do I word this? What they taught me in the seminary was different from what I had signed up for. So I had signed up to be a I had thought that they would sign me up to be more of like a teacher. Like I wanted to teach people about the faith, and I wanted to, like, plan some youth group outings and be able to, like, present the truths of the church to the youth like I did with my I temporarily was the leader of a young adult group for a few months. That's what I wanted. But then they were also asking me to do administrative work, and administrative work is just totally not my thing. I think I'm just not set up for office work and phone calls and all of that stuff that involves more of a personality that's willing to, I guess, engage more creatively. Like, I'm not saying I can't have creative moments, but I think my creativity is more limited. I think if I'm able to be creative, it has to be it has to be used as a way of showing something that I'm feeling or thinking, as opposed to trying to use it to make a group outing happen. So, I don't know. I think with administration, it's you have to be willing to reach out to people and try to, like, advertise. And maybe that was the biggest thing that was holding me back, was that I didn't want to advertise. I didn't want to risk the possibility of me not being creative enough to, like, make a poster, or me having to have too much of an office job. I think I'm more of the type of person, excuse me, I think I'm more of the type of person who I think I enjoy uh where was I going with that? I enjoy work that's a lot more hands-on. Like my current job is I'm a janitor, and so that's a lot of like physically wiping things down and mopping the floor and like actually doing something. Like not saying people at an office job won't do anything, but their job is considerably more sitting down and figuring things out. Whereas I don't really have to figure anything out at my job. When you're disinfecting something, most of the time you don't really see the grime that you're wiping away. You kind of just wipe it regardless of what you can see. Whereas with a computer, you have to be paying attention to customer accounts and you have to be paying attention to things like what's the word? You have to like you have to be willing to look into say if the person paid their due. You have to look at emails and it involves a lot of typing and looking at stuff and paying attention to things in the moment. And a hands-on job like being a janitor is more about getting a list of things done, kind of like you're a robot, which I guess feeds into the stereotype of my personality. But honestly, I'm okay with that because, for one, someone's got to do it. And I think with my, I, I mean, it's hard to admit this, but I think I do have a certain charisma when it comes to talking to people. It may not always show very well when I'm talking to you guys, but I do think if I'm in the right atmosphere, I can be quite welcoming to people. I think my job as a janitor gives me more freedom to welcome the people at the gym more than I would be able to at an office job. Like, I'd have to be so focused on the computer that it would be hard to get my job done and like welcome people to the gym. I'd be like stuck up in the office and I'd have to have the people coming to me and saying things like, "Hey, Paul, I saw you working on your computer and I wanted to say hey." Whereas with the janitor's job, I could be cleaning and then someone could be across from me and then I could be like, "Oh, hello, how's it going, Mr. or Miss Regular?" And I think I prefer the latter approach because also like with being a janitor, you're more active. And so it allows me to get some adequate exercise because I like to exercise. I don't like to be like bodybuildery exercising, but I think exercising enough so that I don't become complacent with my body is what I'd like to do. Hmm. I've been streaming for 14 minutes and no one has shown up. I wonder if maybe if I wait for 2 hours, maybe that'll fix things. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Well, I guess my non-existent audience, I'll wait and stream. Oh, I finally got a viewer. Okay, wow. I guess I must have jinxed it. All right, well, welcome in, viewer. I have just been blabbing to myself for 15 minutes. And I guess I'm glad that you could show up. I I was just talking about how much I would prefer a hands-on job as opposed to an office job, and I was just going on and on and on about that to pass the time for when someone would show up. And it looks like that viewer either disappeared or my YouTube analytics just, I don't know, like sometimes the amount of you that are engaging in conversation is different than the amount of people that it lists that are watching this on YouTube, if that makes any sense. Let me plug in my computer real quick, just in case. Okay, there we go. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was a new viewer, and he or she um didn't didn't think my live stream was all that. So I don't know. Yeah, I think I'll stream later. Maybe I'll stream more at like 4 and maybe more people will be awake at that time. So, I think for real I'm going to end it now because that person literally just left and I don't know. I don't want to risk it. So, I am moving the mouse toward the end screen button or end stream button. I'm saying this really slowly just in case someone randomly pops in, but until the next time, keep the faith, stay epic. God bless. And let's hope maybe if I stream at 4, that'll be better. Bye for now.